He leaned into the Cuxa fountain. In the golden pool he saw himself, the broken nose, the weary eyes sinking into bogs of flesh, the high forehead eroded by sea spray and baked hard by equatorial sun, the tangled gray beard spreading across a lantern jaw. He lathered up, letting the cake slide down his arms and chest like a tiny toboggan, catching it before it hit the flagstones. Sulcus praecentralis, sulcus praecentralis, sulcus praecentralis. Ivory soap, mused Anthony as he rinsed. Procter & Gamble at its purest. At that exact moment he felt clean, though the oil he knew would be back the next day. The oil always came back. For what soap on earth could scrub away the endless black gallons that had spilled from the fractured hull of the SS Carpco Valparaiso? What caliber of purity could erase that particular stain? During the cold months, Anthony had kept a Turkish bath towel handy, but now it was mid-June, the first day of summer, in fact, and a simple jog through the museum would be sufficient to get him dry. And so he put on his jockey shorts and ran, moving past the Ponto chapter house, the Nine Heroes Tapestries room, Robert Campen Hall with its homey Annunciation, the angel Gabriel advising Mary of God's intentions as she sits in the bourgeois parlor of the artist's patrons, surrounded by tokens of her innocence, fresh lilies, white candle, gleaming copper kettle. At the entry to the Langan Chapel, beneath a rounded arch set on lintels carved with blooming acanthus, a 60-ish man in a flowing white robe stood weeping. "No," he moaned, his low liquid sobs echoing off the limestone. "No." Except for the man's wings, Anthony might have assumed the intruder was a penitent like himself. But there they were, huge and phosphorescent, sprouting from his shoulder blades in all their feathered improbability. "No." The glowing man looked up. A halo hovered above his snowy hair, flashing bright red, on, off, on, off, on, off. His eyes were rheumy and inflamed. Silver droplets rolled from his tear ducts like beads of liquid mercury. "Good evening," said the intruder, convulsively catching his breath. He laid his hand on his cheek, and like a blotter pressed against some infinitely sad letter, his palm absorbed the tears. "Good evening, and happy birthday, Captain Van Horne." "You know me?" "This is not a chance meeting." The intruder's voice was wavering and fragmented, as if he were speaking through the whirling blades of an electric fan. "Your schedule is well known among us angels. These secret visits to the fountain, these sly ablutions." "Angels?" "Call me Raphael." The intruder cleared his throat. "Raphael Azarius." His skin, yellow aspiring to gold, shone in the moonlight like a brass sextant. He smelled of all the succulent wonders Anthony had ever sampled on his journeys, of papayas and mangoes, guanabanas and tamarinds, guavas and guanepes. "For I am indeed the celebrated archangel who vanquished the demon Asmodeus." A winged man, robed, haloed, delusions of divinity. Another New York lunatic, Anthony surmised. And yet he did not resist when the angel reached out, wrapped 5 frigid fingers around his wrist, and led him back to the Cuxa fountain. "You think I'm an impostor?" asked Raphael. "Well, be honest." "Of course I think you're an impostor." "Watch." The angel plucked a feather from his left wing and tossed it into the pool. To Anthony's astonishment, a familiar human face appeared beneath the waters, rendered in the sort of ersatz depth he associated with 3D comic books. "Your father is a great sailor," said the angel. "Were he not in retirement, we might have chosen him over you." Anthony shuddered. Yes, it was truly he, Christopher Van Horne, the handsome, dashing master of the Amoco Caracas, the Exxon Fairbanks, and a dozen other classic ships. The soaring brow, lofty cheekbones, frothy mane of pearl-gray hair. John Van Horne, his birth certificate read, though on turning 21 he'd changed his name in homage to his spiritual mentor, Christopher Columbus. "He's a great sailor," Anthony agreed. He chucked a pebble into the pool, transforming his father's face into a series of concentric circles. Was this a dream?